That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 53 of Camp Strange. I'm your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, David Stokes.
And we're back to bring the spooky, strange, weird, wacky, and sensational. Ooh.
Sensei.
Senpai.
Senpai.
Papaya.
We're not doing this.
Okay, so we got some news stories for you because we don't mess around.
Well, first and foremost,
what?
Welcome to year 2.
Oh yeah, this is officially year 2.
Yeah. We're
to
not doing seasons. We're doing years.
Yes, and we didn't change much because we still got some news stories for you.
Yep.
That we like to start off with. So I'll start with this news story that I have right here, and it says, "Airport worker fired for giving traveler note reading, 'You ugly.'" So this
Was it just a letter U and ugly, or was it YOU?
it was YOU ugly with an exclamation point. And
That's a little more hateful.
It's and I mean, you should see how she acts when she gives it to him, because there's a little video. He got the video from the Information Freedom Act, or Freedom of Information. Sorry, Information Freedom. What the fuck am I talking about? So the Freedom of Information Act. He got the security footage from the airport of this lady. Literally, he walks through this metal detector, or like the TSA, because she's a TSA agent, and he walks through, and she literally she gives him a little piece of like rolled up cardboard, because she's tearing pieces of cardboard off a tissue box.
Okay.
And she wrote "You ugly" on it. So she hands it to him, and he kind of like laughs and goes like, "What is this?" And he starts walking away, and she goes, "You gonna open it?" And he opens it, and when he opens it, she just starts hysterically laughing at him. And the weird thing is, he's not even like ugly, and she's not even pretty. So I mean, there's a definite like
Sounds like a wormhole.
imbalance. Yeah, it's like an imbalance there.
Yeah.
And she was fired.
Oh, that's sad. Just like Jesus.
It's
Kind of
like,
cutthroat.
but it's really weird too, because after she goes, "You gonna open the note?" and he opens it, because you see him open it off screen, and she starts laughing. She reaches back over and starts tearing another piece of cardboard off the tissue, the
Little cardboard box thing. It's probably the glove box or something.
Yeah, exactly. So, and she starts tearing it. I'm like, what other note should she give other people that they just didn't tell on her?
Yeah.
Did you think she just kept writing like "You ugly" to everybody and like handing it? But like,
Well, you think she would come to work with those pre-prepared.
you would think.
Yeah.
Maybe she was feeling a little ballsy, but
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't write it when she saw him, so she had that ready. So the guy shouldn't take it that personal.
Yeah.
But she probably saved it because she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna give it to this guy," so he should take it kind of personal. I don't know.
I just don't see the point.
I don't see it either. I mean, like, how fucking bored do you have to be at work? Like, I want to get fired so bad right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's fired.
Yeah.
So whatever.
So I've got one here. Robert De Niro's company files $6 million lawsuit against former employee who binge watched 55 episodes of Friends in 4 days.
Yeah. Okay. Wait.
55 episodes in 4 days?
That's a lot of episodes.
That's honestly too much, Ross.
So somebody brought this up at work. The Robert De Niro is suing him for like $6 million.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, does that constitute a $6 million lawsuit? But did you see what he like spent money on?
Yeah, there's other things that they were spending money on like outside of the point that was like not like cleared.
It was crazy amounts of money. It was like $12,000 in an Italian restaurant on like the Upper East Side.
Yeah.
He spent like $25,000 on like Ubers and like Lyfts, and
yeah.
So he was just like, I still don't think it's $6 million, but I think you have to kind of shoot the price high when you sue somebody, because you know you're only gonna get like a fraction.
You don't go to small claims.
Exactly, but like it's so weird, because I was like, well, even with like paying him for all those days of work that he wasn't working and all that stuff, that still doesn't even add up that much. But it's like Robert De Niro, so like he's coming at your throat. You know?
Yeah.
You got to make sure that this guy ain't gonna get a job again. But that's fucking insane. It's kind of cool to have Robert De Niro sue you, but like,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, he hates you now, which is kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here.
So I mean, but that's insane. I want to see what's gonna happen with that case.
Yeah.
I also have another one that says, town's new public toilets come with anti-sex security measures. So I know
a little knife that comes out and stabs you.
They have a bench in there that says sex bench, and then when you start having sex, it catches on fire.
Yeah, there you go.
No. So, apparently the town of Porthcawl, I don't know where that is.
Beautiful town.
They've spent over $200,000 to replace the bathroom and facilities in Griffin Park.
Just too much fucking.
Well, there's like a combination of things. It's,
tons of broken sinks.
It's vandalism. It's like graffiti. It's sex in there. It's smoking in there. And I guess they've had to like change of. What did you just say?
I didn't say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Okay, good. Don't say it. But
it was a play on the word graffiti.
I don't even know where you're going with this.
Just continue.
Okay, I don't. I'm a little lost. So, the facilities basically they changed it to include a weight-sensitive floor designed to determine whether there is more than one person inside the bathroom, which is really bad if you're a fat guy who got to take a dump.
You're just a big person, yeah.
So, there's also stalls that are designed to automatically open the doors and shoot water jets and sound high-pitch alarms.
So you need a shower.
If there are any violent movements inside.
This has a lot of problems on it.
Which is also really bad for those certain types of shitters who need those violent movements. Sometimes you got to grab onto something and bite your lip, as Tom Arnold said in Austin Powers. You gonna blow your O-ring in there, buddy? And also, it says the stalls are also featured timed light sirens to deter sleeping and graffiti-resistant walls. Oh, they have graffiti-resistant walls. And smoking inside a bathroom stall will cause fire prevention measures to trigger. Planning documents state drenching the offending party. So
All I want is a public toilet that tells me how much weight I lost.
Honestly, that's a very good
invention. It would be pretty interesting to see how much you deposit.
No, but then everybody would just be like, I'm not going to go on a diet. I just lost 5 pounds. Yeah. I know you're thinking 5 pounds seems like a heavy one, but that's light for me.
Yeah, and then people will be trying to set records.
Is 5 pounds a lot? I'm curious.
Yes, 5 pounds would be a lot. Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, I've never weighed myself afterward.
You weigh
before.
You weigh 100 pounds and you've got 5 pounds of shit in you. That means you're 5% shit.
Well, this isn't a 100-pound person talking about
I'm
here.
just trying to do math that I can handle.
We're gonna have to bump those numbers up if we want a 5-pounder inside there.
You're 2.5 pounds shit, or 2.5% shit.
I mean, how much do they weigh? How much does a typical turd weigh?
I don't know. They did have a South Park episode, and they came up with like a
Coric. It's a Coric.
A Coric. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're gonna pause the podcast. It's like we got some scientific things to do. Actually, no, we'll wait until afterward. Yeah. But David, also they shut the toilet down for 10 minutes and then spray like high-powered chemicals
blast
inside.
It with napalm.
Yeah, which sucks if you're inside because then you're just getting bleach in the eyes.
Well, it's like because it how many times has one flushed on you when you weren't done?
Exactly.
What if you're sitting there all of a sudden you start getting sprayed with
bleach for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
God damn.
Come out all like your clothes are all white.
And then it's like you're having violent movements and then all of a sudden it starts like sirening too, and then there's like a lot of.
It might help you speed up.
That's true.
Can I have the sirens, please?
Okay, what do you got?
So, YouTube has removed videos of robots fighting, citing animal cruelty.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
So, like, remember that
like
old
a Pokemon?
Well, did you ever see that old show that I think it was on Comedy Central?
BattleBots?
Was it called BattleBots? That
yes.
sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
It was on like TNT.
It was on like
FX. I don't know. It was on one of those
sci-fi.
I'm sure it was at one point.
Seems like a sci-fi show.
But yeah, no. All those highlight clips, the compilations, they're gone off YouTube because of animal cruelty, man.
That's bullshit. It's a robot.
Is it though? Did you ever see the movie?
This isn't
IT?
like some Will Smith robot shit.
Was it IT?
No, you're thinking of
T.I.
T.I.'s a rapper.
I feel like the movie was.
You're thinking of iRobot.
No, I'm not.
You're thinking of AI, artificial intelligence.
No, I'm not.
I don't know.
This is like an '80s movie, and the robot. It's a great movie. I used to love it as a kid, but I don't think I really got the whole thing of it.
You guys scream it out loud in your car if you know what it is.
Yeah,
we can hear you. But no, I mean, remember in iRobot when he says he goes, a robot can't compose a masterpiece. He can't draw a picture, or not draw a picture, like paint a masterpiece or compose beautiful music. And the robot's like, can you? And then Will Smith's like, fuck, I'm a Scientologist.
Oh, it's Short Circuit. But But the robot's name was like something like that.
The robot's name was Betamax.
No, it was
Betamax. Maxwell.
It was Johnny Five.
Johnny Five. Fuck. Ah, shit. That's a good one. Johnny Five was cool. Also, the robot that cleaned the Revenge of the Nerds house. That robot was cool.
That was one cool robot.
That was one clean robot. But wow. I mean, that's kind of fucked up though, because I love a good robot fight.
Yeah. I used to. Now I can't.
Do they think that's like a
Gateway drug?
Exactly what I was going to
probably.
say, to like dog robot fighting.
Yeah.
Like the ones that did the backflips back in the day, and they go, arr, arr, and you give it like a little bone.
Those things sucked.
Yeah, those things did suck. That was a shitty toy.
Yeah.
You played with that for like 2 minutes, and then you're like, I get it.
They made like a miniature one for McDonald's Happy Meal that was actually better than the original
I had
one.
the cat and the dog.
Yeesh.
I was a fucked up kid.
They were silver with the transparent like green ears.
Yep,
those things sucked.
Yeah, they sucked. Anyway, let's get into these.
I want a drone, Mom.
Let's get into these stories because honestly, we're realizing our childhood sucked. So let's pivot real quick. We couldn't continue this podcast without mentioning our proud sponsor, Spring Heel Jack. That's right, springheeljack.coffee. If you want any of this amazing, delicious coffee, which includes such names as Black Phillip, Reanimator, High Strangeness, ooh, very strange, and of course they got some Old Scratch and Dragon. They have really cool fucking coffee, and it's all very spooky. So go check them out at springheeljack.coffee. That's right, springheeljack.coffee. If you need this coffee, because it's cheap and it's good. It's only like $13 a pound. That's like very affordable, and you're getting good shit too. So go check them out.
That's like what, 2 Starbucks drinks?
Oh yeah, and that's
you just
like,
got shit on Starbucks.
Yeah, come at us, bitch. Anyway,
come at us, Jeff Bezos.
So go check out Spring Heel Jack coffee. It's amazing. I drink it every morning, and it makes me jump.
Give us back Spider-Man.
It makes me jump like Jack. Anyway, okay, cool. Let's do this. So today we're going to be traveling all the way over to where John Denver called home.
Louisiana?
West Virginia. It's your favorite song, Mountain Mama.
Yeah.
So we're going over to West Virginia and to cover none other than the Flatwoods Monster.
Ooh.
So the Flatwoods Monster is one of those. He's kind of like one of those heavy hitters in lore. Like if you type in like cryptids or something like that, he usually pops up. He's less of a monster and more of an alien.
Okay.
In my books, I don't know. So
we don't go off your shitty books.
My books are they're
leather bound.
They're printed backwards and inside out, and no one can read them.
Are they leather bound and smell of rich mahogany?
Yes, they are. So I'll get into it. So in the quiet town of Flatwoods, West Virginia, the 207 residents that occupy the small town are split on their feelings regarding the story that changed their town forever. Some of the town folks are annoyed by the hordes of visitors, while others embrace the legend and capitalize on it. But first, we must tell the tale of how Flatwoods became a household name in West Virginia in the first place, all due to a creature that fell from the heavens and then vanished forever. This is the story of the Flatwoods Monster. So like I said, Flatwoods is only 207 people dense, which means that it kind of put it on the map. It's not supposed to be a known town, you know?
Okay.
In my opinion, you know?
Okay.
I think in most census opinions.
I mean, yeah, sure. Shit on all of them.
No, it's not.
Just do a big dunk on them.
No, I just mean it's so small that, like, without this lore behind it, I don't think people would even, you know... There's a town next to Flatwoods that no one knows, right? Am I right or am I wrong?
Well, that's Bumpy Woods.
That's the Bumpy Wood Monster?
Yeah.
He's a little sexual. We don't like talking about him.
Yeah, he's not very family friendly.
Bumpy Wood.
We like to tell horny stories, but not that horny.
No. So, on September 12th, 1952, at approximately 7:15 p.m., 3 boys, 13 and 12-year-old Edward and Fred May, yeah, that's right, Ed and Fred May, I did not make those names up.
Continue.
Uncreative parents. And 10-year-old Tommy Heyer were out at their local schoolyard playing break a window with a rock and blame it on the deaf janitor. They weren't playing that game. but I assume that's what goes down at those playgrounds.
What disability did your janitor have?
Oh, he didn't have one. His name was John. He drove really far to get to work. That was his disability. He lived like really far away in the mountains.
Yeah.
And he was a really nice guy, but he's like, yeah, I got like a 2-hour commute. I'm like, that doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah.
But yeah, John, what's up?
Ours had a hook.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's cool.
Oh,
He's really nice.
scary though, right?
He hit a hook. Really nice guy, but
so that's a you gotta. Is that what your story's about?
yep.
So so they, like I said, they're playing break the window and blame the deaf janitor, when all of a sudden noticed a pulsing red light streak across the sky and crash on a nearby farm belonging to G. Bailey Fisher. The boys immediately ran to the home of Kathleen May, Ed and Fred's mother, uncreative, and told her what they had just witnessed. Kathleen was curious to see what the boys had what had the boys riled up so much, so she decided to go over to the farm and see if she could see what caused so much hysteria. I'm not kidding. That's like a pretty good mom, because if a bunch of 13 and 12-year-old boys ran into my house, I mean, if I was a mother, not like now,
Yeah.
because I would.
Yeah, that doesn't happen to me either.
They're usually running out of my house.
I mean, I get it. I live behind a high school, but I swear that doesn't happen in my place.
No, but if I was her and like a bunch of kids ran in and be like, "Mom, I saw a little spaceship," I'd be like, "Go fucking back outside. Like, go check it out. Bring me some evidence, and then we'll talk."
Yeah.
Because I ain't playing this fucking game.
I never thought I'd say it, but shut your mouth and go back to Fortnite.
the deaf janitor runs in and he's just like signing to her. She's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Don't push
I'm
it.
not going to do a deaf janitor impression, but I could. They're not listening. The deaf janitors out there are not listening.
I'm
going to
edit this out.
Oh my god. So while walking over, Kathleen and the boys were then joined by two young neighborhood boys, Neil Hunley and Ronnie Shaver, and 17-year-old West Virginia National Guardsman Eugene Lemon, which is weird because he's 17. I read National Guardsman and like a bunch of things, and then I finally found his age, and he's like 17. I was like, they should have went with like somebody who could like maybe actually use the gun a little bit better, because
What are you talking about? I know plenty of fucking teenagers that know how to shoot a gun.
I bet you do. But yeah, I just thought it was very weird that she's like recruiting people, and she's like, I need 2 more younger boys and then a 17-year-old, because if the shit goes down, I need people slower than me right now, basically. So when the boys and Kathleen made it to the farm, they saw a faint red light pulsing from just beyond a hill. But when they reached the crest of the hill and aimed the flashlight just beyond, they saw much more than just a red light. Floating no more than 40 feet away was a tall, 10-foot man-like creature with a round, blood-red face with eye-like shapes. They didn't say eyes. They said eye-like shapes.
Okay.
So they're in the shapes of like eyes, but we don't know if they're eyes. Eye-like shapes that emitted greenish-orange light. So he's looking pretty cool already, right? Blood-red face, got some greenish-orange eyes. He's 10 feet tall. He's looking good. Like, you're going to see him on a Dior commercial soon.
Ooh.
The creature's head was surrounded by a pointed, hood-like shape, and the body was a dark black or green color from the neck to its tiny little claws. So it had little claws.
This is a very, like, long and complicated description.
Well, he's just like, I mean, we're going to see some pictures if you go to the Instagram.
Oh, I can't wait.
But he's definitely a looker, I have to say. He's 10 feet tall, remember?
Yes.
So he's already got the height factor. Women love a man in alien uniform who's 10 feet tall. So the creature was also surrounded by a thick, pungent mist. So he has gas that nauseated whoever smelt it.
They dealt it.
He's losing points there with Kathleen, you know?
Yeah.
And
she's got these 3 teenagers. She has enough of the gas.
She's like, come meet your new daddy. Come here. He's
Come on, give your daddy a kiss.
He's a basketball player. Come over here. Look at him. So look at his tiny little claws. He always pops the ball when he touch it. But so
they don't pass him the ball too much.
He's what we call a sixth man. So when the creature immediately noticed that it wasn't alone, it quickly began to glide over to the group, while hissing loudly.
That's how I hit on women. It starts with a glide and ends with a hiss.
Hey, do you know that guy over there? What guy? The guy running across the street? So, yeah, that was frightening. And so Eugene Lemon screamed and dropped the flashlight he was holding, which is probably the worst thing you could fucking do. Like, you have a flashlight on this thing that's coming at you hissing. You drop it. You're just like, fuck, I'm fucked.
Well, it's because he's from West Virginia. They deal with the Mothman. Maybe he thought it was attracted to the light, so put the light on the ground. It goes to the light.
Smart.
They run.
That's very smart. But I don't know if the Mothman was around at this time.
Yeah, probably not.
But, hey, you know.
It's worth a shot.
He definitely didn't drop it out of fear.
No, it was intentional.
Strategic. That's what he told everybody.
Yeah, I meant to do that.
I didn't like that woman's new husband. He was a real dick.
Try to trip him with the flashlight.
So, and everybody began to run, which is a good move. You know, they're 12 and 13. They're smart enough to know, man's run at you hissing, you run. So
not all teenagers are that lucky.
They're not. They're not all that smart. So after the dust had settled, and one of the boys realized he had peed his pants. Good old pee pants. Good old Miles Davis.
Is that a real?
No, I swear to God, that
okay.
I read that. They're like,
okay.
Well,
I just want to check.
One of the kids at the school was like, "Oh yeah, like Tommy peed his pants," and everyone's like, "Oh, like he could have just been mean, but like I bet someone peed their pants, right?" So after they realized that they peed their pants, they decided to go to the sheriff to report the incident. When the sheriff, deputy, and witnesses eventually returned to the site, all that remained were traces of the mist and stench, but no monster. So, as you guys know, you can't fart and then walk into a room and expect it not to follow you. That stinky mist was still there.
You got it. It's the 37 grace period.
He was embarrassed. I think that's what happened. He got out of his ship and he's like, I can't fart in the ship. So he landed, farted real loud.
And as soon as he did, he's like, oh, someone saw.
He's like, what do I do? I'm embarrassed.
Please don't tell anybody.
But the fart was still there. And it was later theorized that the monster and its spaceship, completely alien to our atmosphere, had literally evaporated away. So he didn't fly away. He wasn't. He crash landed. But he was more of a evaporator exiter. You know, he wasn't like I'm not gonna fly back out of here. I'm gonna turn into that third element. You know, that third state, that gas,
that third stank,
fart man. So although there was no monster to account for, next day, A. Lee Stewart, Jr., I can't forget the junior, of the Braxton Democrat, claimed to discover skid marks in the field. Not those skid marks. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we found skid marks of a pair of big old alien underpanties, on the field. Looked like he shit his britches and then threw them out the window. But so he did find skid marks in the field and an odd gummy deposit.
So yeah, he shit.
I just realized he shit his underwear and threw it out the window while farting. And,
his plasma underwear.
And everybody found it. Oh, he's the laughing stock of his planet. So
it's not so much of a monster. He's more just.
He's just a
really unfortunate person.
Gassy. He's just gassy. So, and subsequently, they were attributed by UFO enthusiast groups as evidence of a saucer landing. So I guess they say when a saucer lands that there's some odd gummy deposits, and I get the skid marks. Skid marks make sense, but I don't get where the odd gummy deposit comes from. If you crash in a vehicle, I mean,
you shit yourself when you hit the vehicle.
It's true. When you hit that ground, it just rattles some shit loose, apparently. So, over the years, special reporters and investigators flocked to the site to try and gain some insight into the spooky event, and they eventually came to a more logical conclusion about what happened that night. Like I said, not everybody believed that it was all alien. Everybody's like, we're going to try to figure this out logically. So, this is what they came up with. After investigating the case in 2000, Joe Nickel of the Committee for Skeptical Inquiry, which is I'm guessing a committee that probably is not a high-paying job. Committee of Skeptical Inquiry?
Yeah,
probably not.
Probably not.
But more of a hobby.
Yeah.
They concluded that the bright light in the sky reported by the witnesses on September 12th was most likely a meteor. and the pulsating red light was likely an aircraft navigation/hazard beacon, and that the creature described by witnesses closely resembled what? What is it, David? If you had to guess any creature that this alien might look like.
Probably what, a bear?
No.
They always just like, oh, it's a bear.
Yeah, a lot of people say, they go, oh, yeah, bear, yeah. No, it was actually a barn owl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what a barn owl looks like?
Yeah, those things are cool.
Yeah, they have like pretty weird faces. They're very like upside down teardrop faces, if I should say so, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of times people mistake aliens for them because they kind of...
They look weird.
They almost resemble like a gray, right?
They have like kind of big heads at the top, and they kind of go to like a point, or at least like the pattern on their face does. You know what I mean?
And they got big, stupid fucking eyes.
Yeah, and tiny little claws, and they fart a shit ton.
And they eat a bunch of little mice. They drop
Aliens
big old turds.
Aliens don't eat mice.
Well, as far as you know,
David. So, but this they said it was also because it was perched in a tree. With shadows and foliage around it, giving it a larger than life look. So they said that like a
branch could have been 8.5 feet up in the air, and the bird's about a foot.
Yeah, I think they said the shadow and like the fact that like it was like kind of in a tree. So they said that the alien was wearing kind of like a big green dress kind of looking thing.
Or a fern
He's
tree.
He's fluid, baby. So, but yeah, he's wearing like a big green cloak, which might look like a tree of some sort, you know?
Yeah.
So even though it is a possibility that the Flatwoods monster was more fiction than fact, the people of the town chose to embrace the lore for years and still continue to do so. Although some of the townsfolk are just plain sick of the story, others have gone to great lengths to show their support, even naming the monster. It's from Braxton County. What do you think they named him? Tony Braxton. No, they didn't. They named him Braxy. That'd be cool. They named him Tony Braxton, though.
Yeah.
So Braxy is his name officially. So they named him. Actually, in celebration of the legend, the Braxton County Convention and Visitors Bureau built a series. So here's the thing. They wanted to build a 10-foot tall statue to him, but they realized how much a 10-foot fucking tall statue would cost.
It ain't cheap.
So they're like, we're not going to do that. We're going to try to mix it up a little bit. So they ended up building 5 tall chairs in the shape of the monster to serve as landmarks and visitor attractions. So you could actually see these chairs. They're gigantic chairs that the mayor actually like helped build himself. Like he nailed them himself. And they're actually well made, and they look like the monster. Like and they're pretty cool looking. The town of Flatwoods also houses a museum dedicated to the monster legend and offers promotional merchandise. Actually, the Bureau rewards visitors who photograph all 5 chairs with free Braxy stickers as part of their ongoing promotion.
I would get one. I want to see what the stickers look like.
I mean, I don't know what he's in prison from, but I think they should...
Shitting his britches.
I'm about to say... Maybe we should like
punishable by law.
I think we should send the German jail. The cops like he evaporated. He's just like in prison for farting and shitting in the woods.
Farting and shitting.
So I think we should just like get stickers that say, "Don't blame Braxy for his mass meat." I don't know.
Not sure where you're going with that.
I don't know. Fuck, help me here. He has gas.
Well, I remember where...
The boy have gas.
I do remember how I knew the name beforehand.
How?
And is that he was in...
Fallout 76.
He was in Fallout 76, and he rocked my ass when I saw him.
So, if you guys don't know, Fallout 76 is a expansion or a completely new game?
It's a completely different game from the Fallout series, but it's all online. It wasn't the best release. I had my fun with it, but it had very bad reviews.
Yeah.
But it's based in West Virginia after the nuclear apocalypse. And Mothman's in it, and so is the Flatwood Monster.
So, yeah, the Flatwoods, they make him look, I saw the video, they make him look very high-tech and
yeah, he's
gassy.
A very advanced alien.
Yeah, so, but he just, like, evaporates, right? He's, like, purple and green.
He'll disappear.
Yeah, so he looks a little different in the video game, but they probably had to deal with some creative licenses and stuff like that. So, but he is in the video game, so he is more famous than any of us. Fuck.
Shit.
So, in the end, the town of Flatwoods is a small place with a big reputation that has spread across the U.S. over the past 100 years. And whether Braxy is indeed a real-life Martian that showed up, crashed his car, farted some stank mist, hissed at a bunch of children, then evaporated into the air. We could probably add shit his britches and toss his underwear out the window.
Yeah, I've done all four of those after eating Taco Bell. Crashed my car, hissed at children, threw shitty underwear out of the car.
Or
evaporated.
Or if he was just a pissed barn owl, we for sure know that he made a big impact on a quiet town.
He made a big boo-boo.
As today, you can still spot the old wooden sign on the outskirts of town that reads, "Welcome to Flatwoods, home of the Green Monster." So I guess his
the Green Monster?
Yeah,
oh yeah, that's right. He was green.
It's kind of redundant if you go, "Welcome to Flatwoods, home of the Flatwoods Monster." So I think they kind of.
I think that honestly sounds better than the Green Monster.
Well, I think they should switch it to Braxy at this point.
Yeah, probably.
Like home of Braxy. You know,
little picture of him.
Yeah, so I think that would be kind of a nice thing.
Shit in his britches.
But it is an old sign too, so maybe back in the day they're like, "It's the Green Monster, it's the Green Monster." Now they got Fenway Park over there in Boston.
Yeah,
that's the Green Monster in left field, and yeah, you know, Boston. Yeah, Red Sox. You don't know baseball? No,
I don't know much.
It's the giant wall in left field that. Like,
oh, it's like is it like oak or not oak, but like poison oak, like vines?
No, that's the Cubs Stadium.
Okay, so
Wrigley Field.
Wrigley Field. Green Monster?
It's just in Boston. They have like the walls like triple or quadruple the height of every like center field's normal fence.
So no
right
homers.
Field. People have hit it over, but you got to hit it really, really high. So they call it the Green Monster because people like it's harder to get
cheating.
over. I know it's kind of weird,
but like, it evens the playing field, I guess.
And they just kind of grandfathered it in, I think.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that was the story of the Flatwoods Monster, which is weird because, like I said, this is what I want to say at the beginning, but he is such a heavy hitter where you could always find. Are you drinking your drink out of a straw, making slurp noises over there?
I tried to, but I forgot it's the straw of my water bottle.
Yeah.
And I cut a little slit down the bottom because it kept getting stuck at the bottom.
Anyway, like I was saying, he's such a big, heavy hitter, but you can't find more than one story of him. And it's just so weird because I feel like a lot of these monsters have multiple stories, but the Flatwoods Monster only has that one encounter, and then it just spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
And no one has ever seen him again. But
What year was it again?
It was, let me go to the top, 1952.
Yeah, well, I mean, back then it's like, if something like that happens in your small town, you fucking run with it because it's only going to bring, you know.
Tourism.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same as the previous story I did about the sexy ass lizard man, where it's like there was only like one like true story of an encounter, and there's a lot of other people claiming it, but it was more just like the city council was like, hey, this is gonna bring people in, let's try to publicize it as much as possible.
Exactly. But it's just so weird because he's such a big like deal on most, you know.
Well, you're trying to say my sexy lizard boy isn't a big deal?
I'm just saying he's no shit in his britches, man.
He'll make you shit your
he
britches.
He might eat a dog in a car every once in a while, but he ain't throwing some dirty underwear at the car. You ever try turning on your wipers after you get some Hershey squirts on the front of your window?
I can't say that I have.
Smear job. It's like the end of Dumb and Dumber.
Total paint job?
Yeah, when Bob Saget hits one of the guys, he's like, you got shit all over the car. That's what it looks like.
That is one of the worst movies ever made.
It is, but that scene is so good with the shit in the bathroom. Anyway, okay, we're going off track right now. That is the Flatwoods Monster, but it is shit related, so
there you go.
He's shitty, all right.
You know, I almost did a monster of my own, but I decided not to. I decided I've done a few too many of those, so I thought maybe I'd try to find a historical story.
I feel like I usually do historical, and you usually do a little monster.
Stupid shit, yeah.
I want to mix it up, give the people what they want, you know?
Yeah. All right. So Tobin, you've heard of speed runs, right? Like
no. Oh, you mean like video game speed runs?
Oh yeah, sure. And they come in all shapes and forms of activities. Some people, I don't know if you still consider it a speed run, but you know, some people set out to run their best marathon time.
Oh yeah.
And there's people that see how fast they can beat Super Mario, you know, all that stuff. And it's been a fun challenge for people to test their skill for a long time. And now I want to ask you, can you think of any examples of times where a speed run would be a bad idea?
Operations.
Oh, I did tell you my stories about surgery.
No, you didn't. No, I just guessed. Did you say surgery?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, well.
Well, I just thought of the worst thing.
Okay, well, try to think of like 2 more for me then.
Okay.
Humor me.
Fixing it. Oh no, I was gonna say changing the wheels on a car, and I realized there is literally NASCAR specific part
That's
of
true.
that
That's
is a
true.
speed
Yeah.
run.
Some people make their living off that.
Painting.
That's what's coming out.
You know, making an album.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, surgery not the best thing to try to get done as quick as possible. You'd think. So we're gonna talk about the Scottish surgeon named Robert Liston.
Ooh, Robert Liston.
Do you know about him?
I don't know about him.
Oh man, you're gonna love the end of this one.
I know a lot of Scottish surgeons, and
I know you do.
don't know him.
Okay. Well, those are more personal. This guy's been dead for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So Robert Liston was born October 28th, 1794 in West Lothian, Scotland.
We've talked about West Lothian, I feel
Have we?
like.
Probably.
I mean, maybe with like Sonny Bean or something like that. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was born to Margaret and Henry Liston. Henry, his father, was a clergyman and an inventor, but
Whoa, that's when you could be whatever the fuck you wanted.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
and he was a clown on the weekends.
I was gonna say, did he eat a kid off those beautiful cliffs?
So, but yeah, Robert wanted a little more for himself.
Wait. I'm sorry. He was a clergyman.
Yeah,
He might have eaten some
he
kids.
probably yeeted a few kids. Ugh. But yeah, so Robert wanted a little more for himself than being a man of God or inventing things, which he did eventually invent some things, but he wanted to go into the medical field.
Like I said, you can do anything back then.
Yeah. So Liston received his education at the University of Edinburgh and became the first, and I in quotes, great northern anatomist of by Blackwell's magazine. So they said that he was like the great northern.
I don't know. It's crazier to think that a clergyman and an inventor could become the greatest.
No, that was their. His dad was the clergyman and inventor.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. I see. Yes.
But and in 1818 he became a surgeon in the Royal Infantry of Edinburgh. So he did join the military at one point, which was bigger thing back then.
They kind of forced you into it sometimes.
Yeah.
You know how that goes.
Yeah. So in 1837 he published something called the Practical Surgeries, and it was urging the importance of quick surgeries, saying, and in quotes, these operations must be set about with determination and completed rapidly. Which,
yeah, I don't get that.
well, I do. I kind of do.
Why?
So, if you're in the military...
Oh, he's on, like, you could be on a battlefield.
Exactly. And it's like, you got to yeet a few feet.
Yeet a feet.
Yeet some feet. You need to yeet 10 feet.
How many feet of this foot do I have to yeet?
Yeah, you got to yeet 10 feet in 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. You better be quick, And for a lot of those injuries, the quicker you dealt them, sometimes the better it was.
That's true.
And
like a zombie bite.
Yeah, sure. That's exactly what it was like.
You got to be quick. You got to hack that off quick.
Yeah. And so Richard Gordon, an English surgeon, it's kind of hard to say, described Liston as the fastest knife in the West End.
Oh, man. He was almost the fastest knife in the West, which would have been way
honestly, cooler. I think he was the fastest knife ever, especially because now we have like these stupid protocols and health regulations and...
You gotta be slow. You gotta be methodical. That's some pussy shit.
Yeah, what are they paying you by the hour, not by the limbs?
I get paid by the second.
I get paid by the joints in the bucket.
That's so gross. Fuck.
So yeah, we keep talking about speed. So you want a quick little stat line about our knife boy?
I want to know how quick you could talk about how quick his knife is. I want to hear how quick his knife was.
Liston could amputate a leg in 2.5 minutes.
Yo, wait.
Set a timer.
See, my question is do you amputate, I assume, especially back then, because they probably didn't have like the sharpest knives, and if he's trying to do it quick, like, do you do it at the joints? Because the joints are the easiest to amputate at.
No.
Damn, then that's really impressive because he must have had to get like a hacksaw then, because that's the only way you get through like a femur or like a tibia, fibia.
Well, I think those would be pretty easy to saw through. Tibia and fibias aren't that big.
True, but like the joint, you could get the joint if you got a knife from the joint, you could probably get that off really quick.
They didn't specify exactly where they're doing it. I just assumed that each amputation would be done according to the injury.
Yeah, I assumed that like he half of the lower leg was still good. He's like, I'm just gonna cut it off with the joint. And they're like, no, like I
got bit by a raccoon. There goes the leg.
I got a lot of good leg left down there. It's like, well, I have a record to keep up, so you better fucking say goodbye.
We're going for 2 minutes, buddy. Buckle down, bite that belt. So yeah, he could do it in 2.5 minutes, and first time, and for the time that he was doing this, it was believed that the speed was essential to reduce pain and improve the odds of survival for the patient.
I wonder if that's true. I mean, it does reduce pain because like you're not getting cut into as slowly, but
it's like
it just hurts more quicker.
Yeah, probably, but you'd get away from like it probably felt better when they passed out from the pain.
True.
Like they were at a 6. Once they hit that 10 out of 10, then they passed out.
He's like, hit me in the head with a hammer. I need to pass out.
So it was also said that he was able to remove a limb in amputation in 28 seconds, depending on the limb.
Yo, shut up.
So like a finger, like snip, snap, sew it around.
He's doing like the thing where he like holds up his thumb. He's like, ooh, like the old magician thing. He's like, look at my thumb. I can take off my thumb.
He drags it out really long though, so he's like, okay, I gotta make it at least 20 seconds.
He's like,
they're not gonna believe
in a
it.
Second.
Yeah.
He amputated his own thumb and sewed it back on in 1 second.
Did I tell you about my father? He was an inventor.
Got your nose. Fucking give it back.
So Gordon the Englishman, like I said from before, had this quote. He was 6'2", pretty big from back then.
Wait, did he shit his britches too?
Possibly.
Ooh, the tall guys don't know how to keep the asshole shut.
So parts of these are a little hard to read because it's, from like the 1700s. And so he said that he was 6'2" and operated in a bottle green coat with Wellington boots.
Ooh.
Those are like the rubber ones, right?
Wait, bottle green coat?
Yeah.
You're kind of describing Braxy right now.
I know.
You keep doing tall guy,
The
green
Weatherton,
suit.
the fashionable Weatherton boots.
Ooh.
He sprung across the blood-stained boards up his swooning. I don't know what that means.
That sounds like Scottish mumbo jumbo to me.
Well, this is the Englishman. Up his swooning, sweating, strapped down a patient like a duelist. So like, when you're dueling, like the speed and the elegance.
Yeah.
Calling, time me, gentlemen, time me.
Damn, this guy's cocky.
Yeah. The students craning with pocket watches from the iron railing gaolers.
Oh, so they're watching him do this from like the little spectator thing.
Yeah. Everyone swore the first flash of his knife was followed so swiftly by the rasp of a saw on the bone.
Oh, he is cutting into the bone.
Yeah. That sight and sound seemed simultaneously. So he was just like,
fuck.
Swipe with the blade and then sawing into it like
Dude,
immediately.
That's like too much.
To free both hands, he would clasp the bloody knife between his dummy thick buns. No, his teeth.
Say what? Honestly, that's like, it's very unsanitary, but it's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really unsanitary. And so that's part of the reason why he's still like the fastest surgeon ever is because you can't do that
He
shit.
just did dumb shit.
Yeah.
The guy's like, my leg's fine. He's like, too bad it's going.
Oh, if you thought that was dumb.
Oh, here we go.
Buckle in.
Here we go.
So in writings on Liston, he is portrayed as a man of strong character and ethics, which was a source for some of his confrontational style. There were a few accounts where he did not agree with like other doctors and how they handled things, and he would like physically he'd punch them, like he would attack them.
That sounds like him.
Yeah, he would basically call them out and be like, "That's not how you do that shit," and they'd be like,
he'd be like, "Time this," and then he'd just jump on him.
Yeah,
like, where's my fucking hand? He's like holding it at the other side of the room. He's quick.
He's a real quick man. So, all right, now let's talk about some of his more famous cases. Liston had removed a 45-pound scrotal tumor.
Oh, don't want you to be fast down there, buddy.
Which the owner had to carry around in a fucking wheelbarrow.
No way. No.
45
way.
pounds is heavy. You don't think about that. It doesn't seem that bad, but like really think about how heavy 45 pounds is. Like
That's a big dog.
that's a big ball.
That's a medium golden retriever.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that? Big golden retriever? God, I gotta go pick up a golden retriever.
Yeah, I think
Or that guy's balls. Either or, I'm down.
That's close to 2 Kumas,
Okay.
my dog.
Damn, dog.
So, yeah, here's another quote from Richard Gordon.
What do you do with the ball after?
He rolled it down the hill.
I was about to say, did you just push it in the wheelbarrow?
The kids knocked it around with a stick and tried to chase it down the hill.
You rolled down the hill. It's just like one of those snowballs in those cartoons, just gained more mass. Took out
More scrote.
took out the town next to him. The Great Ball Massacre of
It attached
1512.
It attached itself to the next scrote it could find. Okay, so here's a quote from Richard Gordon about another one of his monumental feats. Amputated the leg in 2.5 minutes, but in his enthusiasm, the patient's
Wrong leg.
the patient's testicles as well.
Wait, what?
So yeah, he took a leg off and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm taking the balls."
Yo, wait, hold up. This is literally the thing. Wait, this is literally the thing that I just worried about in the last one, where he's just like, I'm going to cut off this huge... He didn't cut off the ball sack when he had to cut a huge tumor off the ball sack, and then these guys like, I need my leg cut off, and he's like, well, I'm going to cut your balls off too. Literally, talk about fucking malpractice. I'd be so mad.
Well, the good news is your leg's gone. The other good news is you don't have to deal with any more kids.
The other good news, I give you a free vasectomy. That one's on the house.
That's on the house, pal.
Here,
A good sturdy slap on the shoulder.
Hell, I'll put it with my collection. I mean, you're gonna look puny next to my other guy in there, but hell, you're in the collection.
Yeah, I'll smile for the photo.
The kids are gonna be disappointed when I show them what I'm gonna give them because they just got a 45-pounder.
I got rid of him for you. Trust me, you should have seen the guy I did 10 minutes ago because that thing was fucked up.
Oh, Jesus.
So, I've got one more quote here from Richard Gordon, who I'm guessing spent a lot of time with him because half the story was like his accounts. But so this is the story which led me to do the story. This is like the best of the best here.
Yeah, this cream of the crop.
So this is his quote. Amputated the leg in under 2.5 minutes. The patient died afterwards in the ward from hospital gangrene. They usually did in those days. I guess it was, they didn't have a lot of stuff to prevent the gangrene. He amputated, in addition, the fingers of his young assistant, who died after in the ward from hospital gangrene.
Oh, he got a bad knife.
He also slashed through the coattails, Jesus. He also slashed through the tailcoats of a distinguished surgical spectator who was so terrified that the knife had pierced his vitals, he dropped dead from the fright. That was the only operation in history with a 300% mortality.
Whoa. Fuck.
And from what I read was that the assistant that had his fingers cut off, they were the one that administrated like the anesthesia or whatever they had back then to like knock the patient out.
Yeah.
And so they think that like that the assistant like didn't even know it was happening because they were like kind of like halfway numb.
What, they inject themselves with anesthesia too, or
No,
what?
I don't. From what I read, it seemed like it was like kind of like a vapor thing,
Like a cloth thing they got going on,
and
not
they,
like an IV thing.
And they got a hint of it, which numbed them but didn't knock them out.
Oh fuck! So they like it's like how you chloroform somebody,
Kind of,
right?
and like they didn't even notice that. I think they lost like their pinky and their ring finger, like holding them down.
Because they probably had it all over their hands, so they probably didn't feel anything. So
Yeah.
it's like, wow, imagine getting your fingers cut off and you're like, not even. I mean, like that guy, like,
Yeah.
if he survived and then he's like, I don't feel good, and they cut him back open, and they're like, oh yeah, we left the fingers in there, and the guy's like, oh wait, those are mine. I've been looking for those.
I remember when I got my appendix removed. I just had like such a bad pain in my side ever since that day, and I was always kind of like, what if they left a fucking like,
Dude, they do
left
that.
a thing in me?
They leave like surgical clamps. They leave
Yeah.
gauze in there a lot of the time. They leave sponges in there a
Yeah.
lot of the time, and that causes infection. There's somebody I just read that they had gauze in their like stomach from like 20 years, and it
Yeah.
was just like, I don't know how that doesn't get like infected or cause something to
Yeah.
rupture or get
Becomes a
I don't know.
part of you. You should have
crazy.
seen this guy that did the surgery on me. I swear to God.
Why?
He was
Did he have a Flavor Flav clock around his neck and he's like, time me?
the dude was like 90.
Oh, no. Oh, but he has experience. See,
No,
he's
he
got a
was-
shaky hand, but he's done a lot of them.
He was a little ripe.
Oh, it stunk.
No, I just think he had like
Wait, how tall was he?
I couldn't tell because he was so old. He was hunched down by about 1.5 feet.
Did he wear a big green coat? Did he smell like shit? Did he have a mist around him?
He was about 10 feet. Oh. Now I think about it, he was hunched because of the ceiling.
I did. Wait, I did have to fly to West Virginia for this. Whoa, that's
Yeah.
fucking nuts.
All right, so that's the end of my story there.
Did he
so,
lose any license because of that shit?
I don't think so. I don't think they had license back then.
That's why you could be whatever the fuck you wanted.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to be a clergyman. I want to be
Hey, you could still be the
a
president.
cop. I want to be a painter. I mean, also,
You
there's
want to drop everything and try to become astronauts?
like, what do you think the percentage of us actually being able to do that right now are?
What, an astronaut?
Yeah, I want to go find Braxy. I have some questions.
0.5% chance of becoming an
Like,
astronaut.
we could try
Probably
really
less.
hard and then like still get denied.
I mean, we could be trying to be astronauts our whole life and still have a shit chance.
Yeah.
If Lance Bass can't do it, I can't do it.
That's very true, man. So he lived a long life. He never
Yep.
cut himself.
Yeah. So, I want to end this by saying, use this story as a good cautionary tale that sometimes doing things the right way and not the fast way is the best.
That's what losers say.
Okay.
He set record. Oh, we're talking about him, right? Because you know why? Because he killed 3 people in an operating room. 2 of them weren't even on the table.
2 of them weren't even there to have surgery.
And that's what happens. Cowards who aren't fast with a knife, they don't get in the history books. Okay,
And cowards that aren't as fast as the knife get cut.
that's true. On high on anesthesia, they get cut or they have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
300%,
Remind me not to get
Death
any
somewhere.
surgeries in Scotland as of recent.
because, that was really recent.
He's
200
got
years ago or so.
ancestors over there.
Yeah.
Between him and Sonny Bean, I'm good.
Yeah, you're in good shape,
I mean,
bud.
yeah, it's a beautiful country with like amazing culture and food and lifestyle and everything else and music. But like, better luck next time. I heard one bad story. See ya.
Yeah. Why would I trust you?
But I think that concludes our stories for today. So I want to say thank you guys for listening. We love telling you these stories, and we love when you listen. If you guys want some pictures of this horrible surgeon or this tall shitting alien, go to our Instagram at Camp Strange Podcast. We also have a Twitter and a Facebook, Camp Strange. You can find it. All the hyperlinks are on campstrange.com. As well as our merch. You go check out some shirts and stuff like that, shirts and mugs. And we are going to do a giveaway very soon. We just got to get some stuff in order, but we're going to give some shirts and some mugs away because we know you guys are fiending to drink some Spring Heel Jack out of that mug and maybe soak your shirt in some Spring Heel Jack and wring that out into your mouth. Anyway, this is just another...
I call it a speedy shirt.
speedy shirt twist. How fast can you do it? Time me.
Watch me.
So thank you guys for doing all that. We also have, if you guys have any interesting stories or suggestions or anything like that, send it into campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. That's campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. Or just go to our website at campstrange.com and click the contact tab. And you guys can send us some stuff. We always read it. We got nothing to do. So send it on over and we'll try to get back to you. If you use the contact tab, we can't get back to you. But if you just send it like regular, because it's like privacy and stuff. But if you just send it to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com, we could respond. So do that. And David, what else we got?
We got scrolled wheelbarrows.
We got the sharpest scalpel you've ever done. Oh, there goes your ball sack.
Well, it's sharp on all sides, so don't touch it too fast. I got a bottle opener for screw-offs for you people with your dainty hands.
We got an 8XL pair of Hanes that definitely started as white.
I thought you were going to say handcuffs.
Andre the Giant's handcuffs?
We got ankle cuffs.
We got a gemstone.
Gemstone. We got an old retired police car, but it's real stinky.
What went down in there?
That's for you to find out.
We got a can of whoop ass.
We got some CSI lab test kits.
We got Grisham from CSI, and guess what? He's got bugs.
Was that the one that always did like
He
the
loves
slow-mo
bugs.
intro?
No, that's David. Fuck, I don't know.
What was his name on the show, though?
No, I don't remember. That was CSI Miami. I never watched that one. That's the one where he's like.
You never watched that one? I thought that was really the only one.
No, CSI Las Vegas was the good one.
I thought none of them went past a season.
No, that was the
except for
one where like, oh, he got mauled by a lion or something. He's like, I guess the cat's out of the bag, and then he like put on his glasses and be like, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love that.
Yeah,
We got doll shoes.
we got a hat made of ham.
Hat ham.
Hat.
Attract all the dogs in the neighborhood. Hat ham.
Hat ham, put it on your head. Go to a dance, get kicked out the dance. Hat ham, put it on your head. Go to a dance, get
I think
kicked out
that's
the dance.
all we got tonight. Let's end it.
Okay, that's it, guys. Before we leave, David, you got anything to say?
Don't forget to wash your hams before you bake them.
And your ham hat. And don't forget to stay strange.